Welcome back here to the Twin Cities Film Fest red carpet presented by Stearns Bank. I'm Blythe Whealy alongside a filmmaker from Inadequacy of Language in Life After Death, Lillie Wojcik. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, it's fun to be here.
And we want to get started. We want to know a little bit more about your film. I was able to see it, but for those who weren't, can we tell them a little bit about this?
Sure. It's like more of a visual essay, I think, than a short doc, but it's just about my personal reflections on processing grief after my mother passed away from breast cancer. Yeah.
I'm obviously so sorry that that you have to be telling this story, but I'm so glad that you did because there's so many people who need to hear it.
Yeah.
But can you also describe why you wanted to make this into a film? What led to the story wanting to be portrayed in a film?
Yeah, it really became, I took a lot of time off to help her as she was sick, and so after taking so much time off, I wanted to start making, filmmaking again, and I just didn't really know what to make, so it's kind of like, what am I thinking about right now? And that's what I was thinking about, and so I also was doing a lot of running at the time, just to get more out of my body, and I started really thinking about the metaphorical connections between getting over something really hard and how you express emotions through your body, and so the connection just seemed interesting to me, so I just decided to make it.
And as a fellow runner myself, I'm curious, how far are you normally running?
Good question. Well, when I first started making this, I was doing a solid 7 around Bald Eagle Lake that's right over here, and that was perfect. That's kind of my max. But then I ended up running the New York City Marathon last year just as close the chapter on this film because it's about running. I won't be doing any more marathons. I like a solid 5. 5
did it. You checked it off your bucket list.
Yeah, actually I've been in town for the film festival, so yesterday there's a run for the apples at Pine Tree Apple Orchard, and I did that, and that was actually a very nice culminating experience too, with the film being here and getting to come here and run in the 5-miler, so it was really nice.
And you obviously wore some different hats on this film. What do you think was one of your favorites that you were able to do and be a part of?
I don't know that it was my favorite, but I think the thing I learned the most from was the editing, because I'm in it, and then I wrote it, and I directed it, and I edited it. So kind of was all-encompassing experience. And the edit was really where it came together. I had a lot of footage. I had some loose notes of what I wanted to say, but it became more of a journey of looking at the footage, looking at the writing, figuring out what the flow is, and then I worked with a composer as well, my friend Diego, and so he and I went back and forth a lot on the music and what it should sound like, and I'd say, oh, I have this sort of section of text here that I think we need a swell here, and so editing it kind of all came together at the same time through many waves of iteration, so I'd say the editing was my favorite part. Yeah.
And I think not always would that be the answer from people, so that was neat.
Yeah.
And Lillie, I also want to talk about what of course you're hoping that people are taking away from this film. I'm sure somewhat therapeutic going through this process. How do you feel that it would be helpful for everyone being able to witness this?
Yeah, something that I was struggling a lot with as I was editing, because it took me months and months of even wanting to touch it, because every time I touched it was painful for emotional reasons, and I went through a lot of self-second guessing of am I being too dramatic, as does anybody care about this? And I think I kind of just kept coming to the result that as long as I'm being honest about how I'm feeling, that's all that matters, and I just wanted to keep making something that felt really honest, and I think that's why people have been resonating with it, and that's what I would want people to take away from it, is that if you're grieving somebody or if you're feeling sad, your feelings, however you're feeling, is the right way to feel. You don't need to overcompensate or over-explain. Whatever you're feeling honestly is the right answer. So yeah.
And like I said, I'm so thankful for your genuine honesty throughout this whole film, and it made me certainly want to call my mom and talk with her yesterday as I was watching it. I'm glad that reminder of just how special those relationships are, and obviously to not take them for granted. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate you bringing this film to the Twin Cities Film Fest. But hopefully maybe I'm able to run with you somewhere.
Anytime.
If you're still in town.
Right over here.
Well, great job. Thank you again.
Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to get to screen here, being from here. So it's fun to be a part of the Twin Cities community as well.
Well, on behalf of the Twin Cities Film Fest, we'll be back with more wonderful interviews like Lillie after this.